everyone, this is Simon Street with Denver Business Coach, and today I want to talk a little bit about specialization versus generalization as it relates to your business. And many of us know, as business owners, we know that specializing in certain areas is more desirable than being a generalist in many areas. That's true from a consumer perspective. As a consumer, we'd like to work with specialists. And from a business owner perspective, the more we specialize, the better business we can actually run. And oftentimes, what we see though is business owners understand that, or conceptually understand it, or have heard about you need to niche down, or you need to really identify your target audience better, or you need to get more specific, but they don't really understand fully why that's important. And so what I wanted to do today is talk a little bit about the owner's trap and talk a little bit about how to actually break the cycle of being trapped in your business as a business owner. And then also what is really possible for you if you can specialize your business, and if the area that you're specializing in is really different and is different from other products or services out there and has somewhat of a monopoly or a unique selling proposition in the market. So the first thing that I want to focus on is the owner's trap. And when we look at this chart here, let's explain a little bit what it means to be trapped in the business as a business owner. So most businesses in the United States start out, or across the world for that matter, most businesses starting out because the owner is deciding to not work for someone else anymore, but to start their own business, because if they start their own business, they get paid more, there's more profit in there, they don't have to be someone else's employee, etc. So they start out. Usually they're really good at what they're doing. We've all heard that. They're usually really good technicians. So owner goes out, starts their own business, and starts selling. First thing you got to do is you set up infrastructure as much as you need, then you got to bring business in. So the person that usually does that in the beginning is the owner. Because the owner is so good at what they're doing, they're able to offer a lot of things to people. Instead of just, hey, I'm good at one thing and one thing only, the owner is usually an expert, and they can do every type of customization, every type of addition, whatever the industry is, they can usually offer more. And in the beginning, it's something that can set them apart from larger players that maybe have niched down a little bit, and where there is a share of the market that is looking for a more customized approach than maybe what's in the market. So the owner does the selling, offers too many things. And because he's offering too many things, he's the only one of actually delivering either the product or the service. So the owner is the one that is interfacing with the customers, both on the selling side and then on the delivering of the service side. So if customers have questions, etc., they're going to come back to the owner. The owner starts getting trapped in this cycle because he's doing too many things. He is usually running around not having time to train someone, and just being caught in this cycle. And if you're a business owner, you can see and you can identify that you're trapped in this. Usually if you're away, the business slows down because either you're not selling or you're not delivering your product or services. You can also see that the customers come to you when something goes wrong. They don't want to talk to a technician, to someone else in your company. They want to talk to you. And then the last thing, your revenue has reached a certain plateau because your business is not scalable at this point. So this is very typical. Now, business can be stuck, or a business owner can be stuck in the owner's trap, even with a few employees, but still the business is very dependent on the owner itself. So how are you going to get out of that ultimately, which I know is very counterintuitive initially, but I think we've seen that a lot with SaaS companies and technology companies that are kind of like pioneering that way of, instead of selling lots of things to a few customers, they're selling a few things to a lot of customers. Because instead of trying to sell a lot of things to a few customers, if you start niching down, a few things happen. One is you can actually start training someone to really deliver the product or service that you're offering. And ideally, you select a product that is valuable, teachable, repeatable. We'll talk about that in a separate video. But so you can start training someone. You can have better control of costs and processes because there's less customization in there. So all of a sudden you can do better planning, better allocation of resources, better expectation to the customers because there's less variables. And so you're going to start being able to run a better business. Then what's also happening is if you find a product or a service that's really different from what's out there in the marketplace, something else starts happening, which is that you have market differentiation because you have a unique product or service. If you are unique, you can start to control your pricing, which comes from that you're not a commodity. So if someone can compare apple to apple, usually a customer is going to go with the cheapest apple, where they can get the most value from. And if something is exactly the same, obviously where he's paying less is more valuable to them. So if you can differentiate, you're less a commodity, you can be more in control of pricing. If you can control the pricing, you can work within higher margins. And if you work within higher margins, that's going to bring more money into your business that you can then put towards growth, for marketing, for continue to improve your system, etc. So, and if you can stay in this cycle, it's really like a self-propelling kind of engine that's going to push your business forward. The more different you are, and as long as it's relevant to the customer, the more you can control pricing, the higher margins you're going to have, the more money you have for marketing and for continuing differentiation. Where I think we all understand that we're in a world where the life cycle of a product or a service is just getting shorter and shorter. But if you have differentiation, you at least have enough room and money to continue to differentiate into the future. So I think I'm going to stop here for today. That's the purpose of this video, is to explain a little bit in more detail why it's important to specialize, how you can identify if you are caught in the owner's trap, and what you need to do to ultimately break out and build really a scalable business that can grow past the owner. So to review, you don't want to be the one that's selling or delivering the service in the first place, ideally. So you want to get yourself out as quickly as you can. You want to specialize, and instead of offering a lot of things to a few customers, you want to offer one really good thing to a lot of customers. And you want to differentiate so that you can control pricing, have higher margins, and generate more profits that you can then continue to put into the business to continue to build a better business. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions about how some of these principles could apply to your business, we'd love to talk to you. Denver Business Coach. We're here to really support small business owners in building a scalable, valuable company that the owner enjoys having and is also getting the company to a point where they could sell it if they want to.